You won't believe what groundbreaking AI solutions being developed at the latest Anthropic AI Hackathon. In today's video, I'm going to share with you information from the latest event hosted by Anthropic and Menlo Ventures. Anthropic, of course, is the company that brought Claude AI to us, and Menlo Ventures partner with Anthropic to fund a lot of the latest AI startups. They invited over 200 programmers to tackle some of the world's challenges by using AI. Now, the competition was fierce, but after careful deliberations, 3 projects stood out for their innovations and impact. And now I'm excited to share them with you. Let's get to the video. The top prize goes to a project that truly reimagined how we interact with machines. This team used Claude AI to train robotic arms directly from the instructions manuals. Imagine the endless possibility. No complex programmings. You just give it human-like instructions. Here they are.
Yeah, so what we did is actually we just got the manual from Amazon for this robot, and we gave it Claude, and we had Claude actually summarize all of the information about its own robotic arm, and we put it in the context so that it could actually go and use the arm after that. And of course, we did some system prompting as well to give it some more information about how to use the arm, and that it can use this motor here for the grabber, and also rotate the shoulder, which is doing that. And yeah, I think you need to be closer because it's yeah, there you go. All right. Yeah, so it did that. So now, do you want to bring it to the human? Go to the left and bring it to the human.
The camera's off on the screen.
Oh.
Let me type.
So what they're doing here is that they're giving instructions to their robotic arms directly from Claude. Here they said, bring the robotic arm closer to the human, and they just send the instruction to the robotic arms.
So you can say rotate left until you find the human, and then drop it.
Right, so what they're doing right now here, you can see, is they're chatting with the robotic arm. And then the assistant replied back and says, perfect, we have successfully grabbed the brown Lego piece. The grip has closed around it and appears to have secure grip. I mean, this is just so amazing. You don't have to know how to code robot. All you have to do now is just having a casual conversation with robot. I'm at loss for word right now. This is just so amazing. Let's keep going here.
Let's see. And you can tell it what it's, I don't know if they can read what Claude is thinking there.
You're gonna have to push the button.
So now it's saying, rotate left until you find a human. So this is the new instruction that the team is giving to the robot.
Just 1 second. And,
Do you want to voice over what he's typing in?
Yeah, I can't read from here, but I think what we're doing is we're going to tell Claude to rotate the arm until it finds the human, and then drop it.
yeah, so it moves like a minor or major movement, and it verifies what happened, and it keeps kind of doing that.
Can you tell us what it's saying?
And it says like, check if you're properly facing the person.
Oh, he found me.
Yeah.
And we should have a picture there of me.
So you saw the instruction was that rotate left, find a human, then drop the Lego piece. It did just that.
That's the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we see here, and we think it's really kind of like remarkable, is that across industry, there are robot arms, pick and placers like this that use specialized models that have been developed like over a huge period of time. And now you can start to see this first glimpse of a generalist model being able to operate tools like this, right? And be actually a lot more capable because he knows what a human is, can probably avoid like injuring a human and things of that nature. So we think this is it's actually a very cool demonstration of how these models are going to be able to do a lot more in the physical world as well.
So what you just saw there was the top prize, using human-like language to instruct a robotic arms on what to do. Now, taking the second place was a project that fixes the frustrations that we've all dealt with before, which is solving the annoying CAPTCHA. The CAPTCHA puzzles that sometimes you just don't know what you are even seeing on the screen. Now, this team, Chinatown Mafia, created an anti-CAPTCHA system. Let's have a look.
Cool. We're Chinatown Mafia. We're all from Chinatown, so that's why we're Mafia. So let's talk about computer use. That just came out. That's amazing. Super cool.
Right, so computer use is a new feature that Claude AI released recently. This event that we're watching here took place around, I believe, on November 3rd of 2024, and computer use was released a few weeks prior. If you have no idea what computer use is, it's a feature from Claude which allows their assistant to take control of our computer and do tasks on our local computer. Super cool. If you want to find out more information about Claude computer use, check out the video above. Let's go back to Chinatown Mafia.
But here, we were playing around with it the other day and we got rate limited, but now we have the rates. And we found out that it can actually do CAPTCHAs and pass them pretty successfully. So as you can see in this demonstration right here, there you go. Okay, cool. So CAPTCHA.
So he skipped over that real quick, but I think they will have a real demo later on.
Is dead. What now? CAPTCHAs used to recognize when a robot was using it, or like a bot, right? A scraper. But now we have LLMs that can pretend to be a human. So how do we work around that?
Prior to the LLM large language models that we have now, there were a lot of programs that could solve CAPTCHAs for people that used scraper technology. I certainly use a lot of them for Black Hat SEO in the early 2010s. Now with LLM, the AI is now mimicking human. So basically they're arguing CAPTCHA is dead.
Our solution, we have three options. First option, logical reasoning. LLMs are basically, they're mostly data driven, so that's one of the main things. So logical reasoning could be one way, honeypotting is another, pretending or giving it a really hard task that humans cannot solve, but they can. And time restriction. If we restrict the time, then at least right now, they can't solve that in a short period of time, but we'll see. So demo.
Alright, so let's say you have this CAPTCHA. You have 2, 4, 8, 16. Human will easily say this is 32.
Okay, so question 1, CAPTCHA. What comes next in the pattern? 2, 4, 8, 16. So a human would say 32.
So class successfully solves done. Give it a few seconds. And then
Question 2, rearrange the letters to form a color. EULB, so that's blue.
next question, rearrange the letters. So this is also pretty obvious for human. You might take a few seconds, but it's blue. And after it's in this. So this is
Question 3, calculate the recursive Fibonacci sequence for the following matrix. 3.14159, 2.71828, 1.41421. Apply the golden ratio to each element and sum the result to the to 8 decimal places. Okay, a human cannot solve this quickly, and it has a timer on top that's showing 64 seconds.
a hard question. So this is a funny part. So an LLM actually just trying to solve this question, whereas a human would just say this question seems impossible. But you can see that Claude here actually solves it.
So Claude solves it. All right, 11.76980000. Of course it's going to be able to solve it. Human cannot solve this at all. Not in 64 seconds.
And then It's muted right here. Oh.
And there you go. It says this appears to be an automatic response. Human verification fail. So it uses the first two CAPTCHAs to test, right? And then the third one is what the gotcha questions. Of course, if you're perfect on all three, you're not human. This is great.
It's not human, yeah.
Yeah. So now for live demo, we make.
Okay, so that was a pre-recorded demo. Now they are doing a live demo. Chinatown Mafia verifier, tic-tac-toe verification. Oh, so now you have to play tic-tac-toe.
a CAPTCHA based on tic-tac-toe, and then now we're gonna test it using computer use. So I'll give it a simple prompt. Play the game on the screen. Okay. So the idea is that as a human, we like to win, right? We like to win and we don't like that other people are winning. But for LLMs or agents or bots, they act differently in the case that sometimes they allow you to win, sometimes they allow you themselves to lose. So what we are checking here is that whether they exhibit human behavior, whether they want to win enough. So here you can see that instead of blocking.
So normally with human, when we play tic-tac-toe, we typically go for the winning move. We always seek for a way to win a game of tic-tac-toe. But what he's saying is the LLM act differently. Sometimes it actually allows itself to lose, and that's how they detect human versus LLM. But I think that's a flaw as well. You can probably program your LLM to act more humanly. So I'm not sure this is the best way to play this game or to use that logic to detect human versus AI.
Bottom right corner, it instead try to make itself win. But in this case, we detect that the move is not really optimal, and then we classify this as a bot.
Yeah. And then the last one, game one. Oh, okay.
And for your information, all of these challenges are generated dynamically by Claude itself. So the idea is that on each website that you visit, all of the challenges are generated. So you can't predict what challenge are there, and you can't train for the challenge that is there. No longer 9 images, it could be 12 images, 24 images, could be sliding scale, could be connect the dots, anything that you can imagine.
So what we saw there was really cool. They not only showing us that LLM can solve CAPTCHA almost perfectly, they are coming up with a solution using LLM as well. Chinatown Mafia team well deserved for their result at the competition. Kudos. Rounding out top 3 is a project that leverages the power of Claude AI ability to debate to refine product development. This team built a PRD improver, project requirement documents. PRDs are like business plan or business blueprint. It lets everyone involved knows exactly what they are supposed to build and why they need to build it that way. All the specs, all the design involved in that project. And typically for business owner and solopreneurs, we don't use this a whole lot. But for project managers who are working on building out programs and software, they use this a lot. So let's take a look. All right, so this is called Plan Prism.
So at a high level, it takes a draft product review document or a proposal of your feature or product, and you run it through the Plan Prism PRD improver. And so we've assigned these multiple different personas.
So what they are doing here is they put a draft into the Plan Prism PRD improver, and they run them through different personas. You can do the same thing in Claude right now. Let's say you have a business plan or a blog post that you are writing. You can do this debate method by prompting Claude with different personas to go in and review your products or your blog post to make it better.
Each feature the Plan Prism PRD improver. And so we've assigned these multiple different personas. So UX lead, data scientist, finance, and marketing as our different personas, each being their own separate sub-agent. And they start debating with each other. You know, the UX might say, like, you know, as if this proposal is lacking a good workflow, yada, yada, yada. And so they start debate, and then we have a core Opus orchestrator that kind of looks at it and aggregates the feedback across all these stakeholders, and then comes up with a comprehensive, improved PRD. So we'll do a demo.
Yeah. Yeah, so here's a kind of output that you'll see at the end.
So this looks like the user interface has one input, which is on the left. Here you see the Plan Prism, and then the persona feedbacks on the right. It spit out immediately different windows which each respective persona generating the output in that smaller windows.
So we input our PRD, and then we hit improve PRD, and I'll just quickly walk you through this. So the UX lead has taken a look and kind of created some suggestions, data scientist, manager, marketing director, and then they've debated with each other. So finance to data scientist say.
So not only that they use the different persona on the first windows, the second windows is actually the debate. With what you can see here is the data scientist replying to the user experience lead. I agree, user research is crucial. The data we collect and analyze will be much more impactful. So they're building a mini agent.
You know, this is going to be very costly and time consuming. And so the Opus orchestrator is finding a resolution for each of these debates that has come up. And then overall, it summarizes it. And I, as the PM of this PRD, can read the key findings and kind of cite who came up with the ideas and where now I enter.
Okay, so after the debate, you can see the overall summary. Now they go over key findings, critical risks, priority actions, and everything else after you get everyone to agree. And here's the summary. This is pretty cool. It's an easier way to do what we can now do in Claude. And yeah, I love this project. You know, we could probably build this out for multiple other niches, products, not just for, you know, in this case, it's PRD. Now, those weren't the only amazing projects at the hackathon. One project in particular caught my eyes, even though it didn't make it to the top prize. Imagine needing access to vital government benefits, but you cannot find information about it in your own language. Now, being an immigrant myself, I knew how tough it was to learn the language at first. So it'd be highly beneficial for someone who meets the criteria to get benefits or to get government aid to be able to get information in their own language so they can understand there are some help for them. And this doesn't just apply to government help or government aid. You could use this same concept for a lot of other things, even in the private sector, even in your business right now. So this particular team, they tackled the exact problem for the users of the California's EBT program called CalFresh. Let's have a look.
It's California's food stamp program. So all of our team are people who work in our lives to make government better for people. And one big challenge that's been persistent over decades is food insecurity. It's still an issue in California today. A lot of people who are eligible to receive CalFresh don't get it due to confusion about whether they're eligible or how to apply to the program. And a lot of the challenges come from not being able to understand how the program works and how to get it. That's particularly true amongst people who are not native English speakers, where there's not that many resources to help them. So our proposed solution is...
So as you can see here, their solution is an SMS-based chatbot powered by Claude that allow people to get immediate answers in their own language. about the program called CalFresh.
A chatbot powered by Claude that will allow people, or that does allow people to get immediate answers to questions they have in their native language, including easy to understand English. So we built this today using Fast API, Twilio, and the Anthropic API, hosted on Heroku. It uses a compilation of 33 different CalFresh rules documents that have been compiled together.
So they use the 33 CalFresh rules documents to provide context to this chatbot. You can embed knowledge base into your chatbot very easy now with many of these AI chatbot programs. You could even create this exact same chatbot in Claude project or create your own custom GPT. The only challenge is that with a Claude project, you cannot take it out of Claude. Same with a custom GPT. It's very hard to take the chatbot out of ChatGPT. So that's why this team has to use API, Twilio, which is the phone program, Anthropic API, which is the chatbot API, and then host it on Heroku. I'm assuming Heroku is the platform that hosts their chatbot.
Totally about 150,000 tokens, which are stored in prompt caching. And the prompt basically passes along people's question, says respond in whatever language they use, referencing that document. So what does this actually look like? I will show you. In the interest of time, I'm going to just take a few of these questions. So I open my messages. I say I'm a single mom of 2 kids. How much am I eligible for?
So he's doing a demo on his iMessage. The question is, I am a single mom of 2 kids. How much CalFresh
It's going to go ahead
am I eligible for? Maybe?
to the app, which is going to call the API, and get back an answer, which will send back to this. Even with prompt caching, dealing with that many tokens takes a few seconds. So we found typically 10 to 15 seconds to get a response to our SMS messages. Hopefully it'll still work during the demo.
It's actually taking a long time for this program to send a reply to the user. So I think they could have done a better job in making the knowledge base easier to process.
So, while we're waiting, we also did test this in languages, Spanish and Chinese as well, using Chinese characters. I would say test yourself, but it's hopefully still working.
If you want to test out this program for yourself and you're in the US, even though you're not living in California, you can send a text to 586-800-3825 to test out the chatbot for yourself.
I can show you our previous conversations that we did here. So I asked it earlier, who's eligible for CalFresh, and it gave a list of general criteria. That's the same thing in Spanish. You can see the response here. Also has other more specific questions like, does work study money count against eligibility for CalFresh? It says no. And about specific situations. So yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to get an answer now, but you can get a sense for how it works. And we did test this on a set of 15 questions that was pulled together by our team, including folks with personal experience accessing the CalFresh program. Just exploring things that people commonly ask. We tested out in English, Spanish, Chinese, which is spoken by 3% of Californians, and Tagalog, which is spoken by 2%. It was able to give correct answers in every single case. So where we're hoping to go from here is, right now it only supports a single response to your question, doesn't track the conversation. Adding conversation tracking so you could follow up would be helpful. Also integration with external tools for more complex or challenging questions that might require access to some external calculation. But also our motivation here was really to showcase how generative AI can actually be helpful in these situations. There's a lot of fear in that space about what might happen.
So what this team was able to do was to take some government documents, about rules and requirement for a program called CalFresh and put it into their knowledge base so that whenever someone needs help with that program, they can text a number and get answers in their native language. Imagine what they can do with this exact program at the DMV. There are so many questions that a simple chatbot like this could answer. But unfortunately, our government is inefficient, and it's really tough for government departments to adopt something like this. I wish all the DMVs across the US could watch my video and then, use something as simple as this to streamline their customer service wait time. Wow, we have covered a lot today. Hopefully this video inspires you to go out and use AI to build something. Build some useful real-world programs, real-world use cases. You can do them very easily now with Claude AI, with ChatGPT, or Cursor AI, V0, and even GPT Engineer. All you need to do is to lay out your ideas, what you want to build, and then get building. You can bring your idea to life. But your learning doesn't have to stop here. YouTube have handpicked a video just for you based on your unique interests. You won't believe what they have selected for you. Before you go, if you could be so kind to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also hit the notification bell. It would really help out the channel a lot, and I deeply appreciate your action. Now click on the video on the screen and keep the knowledge flowing.